Sup goats, it's Joe, and welcome back to a new live reaction and review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Rise of Kanaan EP by Kanaan. I have a history with Kanaan's music, which spans almost 2 years by now. I was introduced to bro's music through his 2020 showcase mix, which dropped in the month of January 2020, and I also listened to it in that same month. Probably about a week later. Funny story, so I was doing some work around the house and decided to put some dubstep on. And I knew since it being January, a lot of motherfuckers just post their 2020 showcase mixes to SoundCloud. So what do? What do I type into the SoundCloud search bar? 2020 showcase. So I put the first one on, get to work. It was alright, it sounded pretty cool. But Kanaan's is the one I listened to after that. And as soon as I heard the first ID, I was taken aback. I visibly bass-faced. That ID being Beams of Fire, which dropped on Savage Selects Volume 5 like half a year later. And that was just the start. I listened to the entire showcase mix, and his industrial, screechy kind of tear-out approach really hit me. So of course I was hyped to see him drop an EP on Disciple Roundtable over half a year later, which presented itself in the form of the Banger Anthem EP. And I'm not gonna lie, he did take a different approach and it was cool to see, but I was disappointed. I'm pretty indifferent to the Banger Anthem EP. I don't love it, nor do I hate it. It's just there, it's meh for me. I still don't know which tune would be my favorite. All of them are just eh. I guess I'd have to go with either Spellbook or Death Stance, probably. Yeah, I didn't find myself enjoying any of these 4 songs. And I believe the only other music we got of his after that was Filthy Attitude from that Indefinite Recordings debut. And as y'all can remember, I did not enjoy that tune for it sounding so incoherent with the tempo switch up and whatnot. So now we have this EP. It's 4 tracks with an intro. And I must say I am pretty hyped because I know the final track, Chort, it was on the 2020 showcase mix. Bro sent me a couple of his IDs, his tear-out IDs, which I love so much. And I was hoping for a couple more of them to be on this EP, but I'm open to anything. As y'all know, the other 3 tracks, I don't think I know from any snippets, showcase mix or whatever. But yeah, I'm still excited to get into this. I do remember him dropping one ID on his Instagram, taking that tonal, wubby, chunky approach from the Banger Anthem EP and fusing it with this tear-out sound. It worked pretty well. So if we get hit with a couple doses of that on this EP, I'll be satisfied because, yeah, I felt like the Banger Anthem EP needed that shot of Kanaan tear-out. And hopefully we get it here. So enough talking. Without further ado, let's get into this thing. Intro to Me is the first track. By the way, he has like a little text attached to each of these songs because this EP is very personal to him, which is cool to see. So this one only says an intro to me. Alright, I was gonna say like standard brass sequence there, but I like what it did there. More uppity and shit, but still really, really ominous. Okay. Not really a taster for this EP, rather just a separate intro to get you hyped up more. I can't review pieces that short, but what we got on there was good. Yeah, just a quick intro, just a little something. Let's get into the title track, Rise of Kanaan. Okay, he's continuing with this like orchestral approach, which is cool, and with the vocal. Wow. I like this a lot. Ooh, that little dissonance there. That is a really cool sound. I love the sub too, how it pitches up every so often. That was really good. That was really cool. By the way, the beginning and Rise of Kanaan is what it says in the description here. The beginning? His pre-drops are always solid. Yep, it's that Banger Anthem style, but executed much better so far. Love the sound design, it's full, it's tonal, it's anthemic, really. It's a bit empty here, Well, but that like sliding, that portamento to the sound design, the way it slides around in pitch is really nice. Kind of a brassy timbre to that sound design. Okay. Yeah, just generally cleaner sound design, more refined than what we got on the Banger Anthem EP, I feel like. More memorable motif too. I will say even his fake outs on the Banger Anthem EP were good. His like the little notation he puts in there. Yeah, it's one of the most distinguishable factors of a Kanaan song. The really forthright fake outs. This is great. One minor criticism, I would like the drums to be a bit punchier in the lower frequency range. There wasn't much sub bass going on there. I guess they would have hit harder if there was more like sub to them, more impact. Alright, pitch. That was a bit off key. Well, I like the added lasers. I'm not the biggest fan of this fake out in comparison. Too much pitch movement. Like obnoxious almost. Ooh, the layering of those sounds. Now, melodically, this thing works. The backing brasses. Ooh. Nice sub work right there. It just went downstairs. Bop, 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 bop. This is exactly what I need from him when it comes to this style that he's showcased. That Banger Anthem EP style. I'm not going to call it that from now on because it'd just be unfair to him. But his newfound style, his style that isn't tear out. Yeah, that thing was solid. Little to no complaints about it. Let's get to domain expansion. Yeah, I mean, as long as he hones in on that style, maybe his tear out sound as well, whatever we get from that, I'll fuck with this thing. Let's get into this one. The expansion of my empire, to grow it wider and stretch it as far as I can. I guess he's talking musically. Exploration in new genres and styles that I could possibly further on in the future, removing limitations from the music I create. Bet. I already am really messing with this intro. How lo-fi and spacious it is. Little bits of sound design in there. Yep. I already hear that staple, trumpety, anthemic Kanaan sound there. Ooh. That's a... Okay, this also, before we get into the drop, I was gonna say the intro, for it being so pattering and mellow, for the build-up to just come in like that, that dynamic, that contrast is really cool. And then those spaces in the build-up, let me run that back. The pauses. That builds so much potency. Ooh. Not gonna lie, I expected it to hit harder. But, yeah. Nice bass line there. Nice little percussive sound design in there. I see what it meant with removing limitations from his music and growing his empire wider. Got some drum and bass for halftime. Halftime. I love that kick. It's like a psytrance kick. I will say those two sections were a bit brief. Apropos psytrance. Speak of the devil. There's something exotic about this tune. Ooh, that nasty Uber type bass. I don't know what it's called. Is it an acid bass? That like croaky vocal synth type thing. Okay, interesting tune. I will say it is a bit unfulfilling. The three sections, the genre switch-ups did not feel forced in any way. I will give him that. Sometimes when I listen to music that has a first dubstep drop and then another drop, that isn't dubstep. It kind of feels forced, like there just to say, oh, this is a multi-genre tune. I did not get that from this track. It feels very seamless. Yeah, and I like the nice exotic, almost Arab, Arabian theme to it. Nice grit to the first drop. Solid psytrance basses in the final drop. And the second drop wasn't really halftime. It was more trap. Yeah, the sound design was crisp, it was clean, it was gritty in the first two drops. Just, I could have used so much more from this tune. I will like and repost because the effort is there, the production is there, the ideas are there. No shortage of brasses or just really grand and boisterous sound design announcing itself. But fleshing out of all three of these parts to the song, outside of the non-drop sections, could have done the tune a favor, I feel like. It was cool. The drops individually were a bit too brief. Outside of that, yeah, I love to see him go outside his comfort zone like this. And again, I will compliment the intro and the build-up, how well they work together. It's just the way the drop came in felt a bit unimpactful right here. Like you already got a taster without the percussion of what you get in the drop, and then it just drops out and then it comes back again. I feel like something else could have been done there. Yeah, outside of that, it's a pretty cool track. Showcased some pretty cool ideas from him. Let's get into Empire, track 4. Showing off my empire and what I can do with it. Showing off the new style of heaviness that I can bring with my new journey in music. Okay. Ooh. That little call and response of the Reese is nice. That like guttural chant, that vocal chant was solid. Kind of a minimal breakbeat here. His bass lines just all over this EP. His bass lines all over this EP are so clean, so crisp. Ooh. Okay, got some tear out finally. That fake out again, so good. He just put the sound design in and had the rest of the drop just come in, just hit. Nice swift tear out sound design here. Okay, there's like some different pitching to the sub. It lands on different notes. That sustain is very far in the back of the mix. I'm kind of getting some Murata inspiration here from the backing sustain, the sound design too. Oh, but the entire vibe is Kanaan, for sure. I like that. The way the drums kick, the way the drums dip out. This is my favorite non-drop work. Across the board, it's been great though. See, that hollow timbre, it does remind me of Murata though. Ooh, he left like, ooh. The way he left out the synth there, you expect it to hit. This is creative. Sound design's still there, just the sub is gone, the percussion's gone. I hate to say it, but my pet peeve of first drop being double the length of the second. If he would have done what he did here in the final drop, like with the outro with the sound design still in there, if he would have done that in the first drop and took that first drop and made it the second, I feel like it would have rounded out the song better. From a musical standpoint, kind of left me hanging there, but it's not the worst instance of a song being unfulfilling to me with its final drop being half the length of its previous drop. I feel like it could have worked much better if it were to be switched around though. Outside of that, I enjoyed this tune. It's a solid tune. It's tear out. I'm glad he's comfortable making tear out again and expanding on that as well. Fresh approach to the sound design specifically, and the flow was different too. That flow was pretty cool, especially in the final drop, what he did with it. Straightforward, sparse, and meticulous. Alright y'all, final track, Chort. An ode to those who supported me from the beginning, joining me in my empire from the start. An old song created in mid-2019, the last piece of my old style before the Rise of Kanaan project. The end of an old era of music, the beginning of a new. I know this tune, I do know it. I'm hyped for it. It's a banger. Alright, I will say, that little sequence, this sequence here, that's a bit too familiar. I feel like I've heard that before in one of these other non-drop sections. I like it, but gives me this weird feeling of deja vu. This is cool though. Love how dissonant it is. Detuned. There it is. Oh, that sound design! This is dang. Oh, it just hits you in the face. I will say the mixing on this tune isn't as good as on the other 4 tracks. I feel like it's up to standard. It's solid. I don't mind it. But the first 4 tunes, it's just I feel like if it would have had that crispness and cleanliness of the first mainly 3 tunes, then it would have just elevated it to that next level. I guess he really didn't change the mix down much because this is an older track. Oh. Kick. What was that? This is good. Like a climaxing peak, but it still fades out too. Alright, okay, that was the CP. I feel like the main thing that's missing from the CP is some expansion of some sections, predominantly drops on domain expansion, for example. But it's all around solid. It's what I wanted from him. Both of his styles sort of entangled, more tear out in the back end, obviously, and more tonal, wub, chunky style stuff in the former half. But it's well-produced stuff. And again, you could tell, like mix-wise and even production-wise, that the first 3 tracks are more recent than Chort. Yeah, again, some parts aren't as fleshed out as I'd like them to be, but I am more or less satisfied with this thing. I got what I wanted and got what I expected as well. And yeah, sure, some of his older songs that I've been anticipating might not ever drop. They probably won't because, like he said, this is a new era of Kanaan, but I completely understand where he's coming from. I mean, objectively, the middle 3 tracks of this EP really are better than his older stuff. And I love to see him bring the tear out back. That's really what I wanted from him. Very excited for the future of this man. Yeah, I'm having a hard time choosing my favorite track off of this EP. I might pick 2 since it's a 5 track, but then again, the intro isn't really a full song. Not to delegitimize the intro being there, but yeah, Rise of Kanaan, Empire, and Chort are great. Chort, as I said, being a classic track of his, in my opinion. Yeah, I guess I'll put Rise of Kanaan and Empire as my favorites, but y'all might see Chort end up on Best Dubstep of November, not gonna lie. This is a good EP. I mean, even Domain Expansion, even though I was a little dissatisfied with what the drops did, the experimentation was there, it was still him. Intro set you up too. Not much to complain about on this thing. Kanaan has a bright future ahead of him. Australians really bring the punch when it comes to rhythm and tear out and basically everything else. This has been your boy Joe. Thank you all for watching. Drop your opinions in the comment section below. What did y'all think of this EP? Favorite track, least favorite track? Make sure to support Kanaan. Show him some love on this EP. It's a new beginning for him after all. We'll see what he has in store in the near future. I wish him the best of luck when it comes to dropping songs on major compilations. Follow my Twitter, join my Discord, as well as the rest of my socials. And I will see y'all in the next vid. Take care.